All right, we're here on location, Sherri and I, at the Identity Week Head, Heart, and Feet runway show with Mondo Guerra. And it is very, very wonderful to have you. Thank you so much, Mondo, for meeting with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Tonight was really, really wonderful. You know, I go to a lot of fashion shows, and this one was definitely unique. I thought it was sent out a very positive message about really not being afraid of who you are and showing that off. And for the, I don't want to call them models because I don't think that's necessarily what they were. They were individuals, and that really that really came across in the show.
I think that's what SUUSA was going for when they put this on, and having you here was a perfect opportunity, especially because you can identify yourself in so many different ways.
Right. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I always, in my outer, all this right here, what you see on the outside is kind of like, I approach it like in characters, so I'm always changing it up, But on the inside, I know I'm a rock because I've been through many, many, many obstacles. I've overcome a lot of stuff, and I think what's important to remember is that all these experiences that we go through, whether they be good or bad, you can learn to apply that to your story, accept it, and move forward and be strong.
Yeah, definitely. What is one piece of advice you can give someone who is going through a hard time that doesn't seem they will be able to make it through?
I think you need to look inward and push forward. I think it's really easy to take criticism or whatever it is you're going through in a negative light. You have to really kind of understand what is positive about it, and really focus on that. Because and understand your story, that it's a process and that it's a journey that we're all going through. And once you figure it out for yourself, share that with somebody else, because you never know, they might be going through the same thing. So it's always about conversation for me. It's really about participating not only in your life, but participating in somebody else's.
Yeah.
And I know for you a huge thing has been, you're very vocal. I mean, as of recent, you're very vocal about being HIV positive, and you advocate very well for other HIV positive people who haven't spoken out.
Right.
How do you take criticism though? I mean, obviously when you dress however you want to, you're maybe eccentric, some would call it. How do you take that criticism?
It's not. I mean, it's strange for me now because before, for example, when I was out in Denver and, going out and being in the community, people kind of looked at me and judged me, because they didn't really know who I was. It wasn't until I was on the show and I got some, had some visibility, that they understood why I act this way, why I dress this way, why I am this person. I don't think any of those people even knew that I was just like creative. I was breathing creativity, living it, sleeping it, eating it, And now that they've seen my process, they understand. And it was also, when I did get that criticism, I never turned around and said, hey, this is just who I am. Do you know that this is what I do? I'm an artist. I like to express myself X, Y, Z. And that again, it's just as much my fault to get criticized as it was theirs to judge me. And that's what it comes back to, is having this conversation. So if you feel like you're, being exposed or discriminated against, why don't you stop and actually speak up,
Yeah.
And do you, because I'm sure you're approached all the time in airports or wherever you may be, do you take time? I mean, I know obviously you can't take time with every single person, but do you take time to just discuss with random people on the street?
Well, yeah, I really feel that people come up to me for a reason, whether it's just to take a picture or share a story. I think they come up to me because they feel comfortable with me, because they know my story and they know that, I'm accepting and I'm, I have a big heart. So I don't mind it. I really do take the time to talk to everybody that comes up to me because it's important. It's important to them.
Yeah. I can only imagine how hard it was how hard was it for you to actually come out and start being proactive about HIV and about the gay community?
Well, the hardest part was keeping the secret for 10 years. I think that was the most painful. But after that episode aired on Project Runway Season 8, it was really easy for me because there was an outpouring of love and support from not only the gay community, but the viewers and just people all over the world. And so I knew that it was my responsibility to continue this conversation about HIV/AIDS. That wasn't the hard part at all. The hard part was keeping that secret and not allowing people in and allowing people to love me for whatever reason. So the advocacy part is the easiest part, and that's the most giving part that I'm experiencing now, because I have the honor to travel the country talking to different groups and having so many different people come up and share their story about living with HIV. And it's not just an issue about being HIV positive or HIV negative, it's about accessing that information and educating yourself and having these conversations.
Yeah.
So the advocacy part is wonderful, wonderful.
Absolutely. So it seems that your advice then to anybody who might be struggling with maybe coming to grips with who they are or who they want to become is simply to talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it. You know, talk with yourself first. Have this inner dialogue, and then find somebody that you trust and talk to them, because you'll and maybe a complete stranger. I've talked to complete strangers for hours, you know, and it's pretty amazing how everything's, you know, all relative, and they probably have some of the same issues.
You chose the most public platform there was and told all of America at the same time.
Well, I don't think I chose that platform.
Right,
you know,
maybe
but
you chose
it just happened for me, you know, and that's part of my journey, and now it's a part of my story.
Well, thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
It was great to have you here at the Runway, and it was great to have you interviewed as well. For more information about Mondo, visit mondoguerra.com.
Yeah.
And you can follow him at Twitter at Mondo Guerra as well.
Love Mondo Trash Show.
Love Mondo Trash Show.
Oh,
You changed it up.
even better.
Yes, and,
even better.
and Instagram Mondo Guerra.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Wonderful.
That's it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tune in for a little bit more on the T-Bird Word.